What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast. Wherever you may be, thank you, as always, for joining me for another edition of the show, post game recap of the Sacramento Kings' seventh straight loss, losing to the Golden State Warriors on this Friday evening, 1:37 to 1:03. And before we get into tonight's recap, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to give us a follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. We much appreciate it. The Sacramento Kings are now 8-30. It is the worst start to a season in the Sacramento era. And that's kind of crazy because there's been some terrible teams to play here in Sacramento. And the Kings and the Warriors, this was actually a good game. Fun, competitive, because the Kings and the Warriors were tied at 84 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And then Sacramento was outscored 53-19 for the rest of this basketball game. And Steph Curry did not score during that span. Just absolutely incredible. They were also outscored in the fourth quarter, 40-19 in that final frame. Curry, he ended this night with a double-double, 27 points and 10 assists. The Kings, they were led by DeRozan, a team high 24 points and 3 assists, 10 of 19 shooting. And the worst of Sacramento's defense was in that third quarter, and the offense in that fourth quarter appeared in that second half as it crumbled again with a seventh straight loss. And coming into tonight, the Kings had the worst offensive rating in the NBA, and Sacramento, they struggled to convert buckets early in this game, seemingly attacking Stephen Curry in the mismatches, and they failed to convert while the Golden State Warriors made their first 5 shots to jump out to an early 13-4 lead. I give the Kings credit. They managed to force a couple of misses, converting a pair of their own threes, and they recovered to get close, 13-10. You had Zach LaVine, who found his way to convert 7 of the Kings' first 17 points. Keon Ellis, who got the start tonight, featuring a little bit of a smaller team. Malik Monk made his first appearance in a game since his last 3 games were DNP's coaches' decisions, and Keon Ellis struggled to keep Steph Curry in front of him on the perimeter, as often as been the case this season. The Kings bench, they helped keep this game close. The Warriors scoring did not slow down, though, as they did shoot 65% of their shots in that opening first quarter. The Kings, they did manage to remain afloat, going 4-9 on the 3. They trailing after the first 34-29. Malik Monk, who got his first pace of action in 3 games. He contributed to a 12-4 Kings run, securing Sacramento's first lead at 41-38. And then we get to the second quarter, kind of played out similar to that first quarter. Steph Curry was the focal point on both ends of the floor, and Golden State, obviously, they featured him heavily on the offensive end, and the Kings, they looked to attack it. They switched the likes of DeRozan, Levine, and even Westbrook at times. And the Kings' league worst offense coming into this game, they kept a solid pace in this game for most of the night, but it just quite wasn't enough for the Sacramento Kings as they dropped this game. DeRozan led the way for Sacramento with 24 points. You had Levine and Dennis Schroeder, who scored 15 points apiece. Russell Westbrook added 13 points and 7 assists in this game. You gotta love Zach LaVine and Maxime Reynaud. They helped the Kings get it going early. They combined for 13 points and 5 rebounds in that first quarter. Although they didn't get much defensive help, as the Golden State Warriors piled up 34 points in that first 12 minutes of the first quarter. And as ugly as this one was at the end, it could have been a whole lot worse, all things considered. So give credit where credit's due and Christie for that, because in my opinion, I think Doug goes under the radar a lot of nights in these games, but he deserves a lot of credit by the way that the Kings were able to stick close against Golden State for most of this night before letting go of the rope in that fourth quarter. Because the Kings, they were on the short end in just about every significant category, a formula that ends with the giant L more often than not. The Kings 25% from behind the arc. They got out rebounded 41-32, and they allowed 66 points to the Golden State Warriors bench in this game. Just absolutely incredible, and it doesn't get any easier as they do have a back-to-back coming up Sunday against the Houston Rockets, and then Monday against the Los Angeles Lakers. Both those games are at home, so that's a little comfortable. But Sacramento, they committed 13 turnovers in this game, and the Warriors converted into 20 points. Still too high for Doug Christie's liking, but certainly that was better than what his squad has been playing. The Kings also had 13 turnovers during that loss on Tuesday night against the Dallas Mavericks. And also I want to give a shout out Dylan Cardwell, who led the way with 4 offensive rebounds, while Max and DeRozan each had 2. And Dylan Cardwell, when he plays, you know he's out there on that floor. He brings the energy and the hustle that you want to see from your young rookies as they continue to develop on the fly as we go through this season. Max on the night, 26 minutes, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Clifford, 24 minutes, 6 points in this game, 2 of 3 from 3 in this game, but not a lot to take away, even though, again, this game was tied at 84 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And then the Golden State Warriors, they ended that third quarter on a 13 run, and they never looked back in this game. They improved on the season to 21-18, and the Sacramento Kings are now 8-30 on the season. And I don't we all did not think that this team was going to be any good this season, but losing 30 games before you even win 10 is absolutely insane. And now the Kings are on pace to finish this season with just 17 wins and 65 losses. Absolutely incredible. So, Kings back in action on Sunday night. We will have another post-game recap following that game against the Houston Rockets. But as always, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you give us a follow. We are a video podcast on Spotify and on YouTube. So by all means, touch the video feed. Until next time, thank you as always for joining me on the Kings related podcast, this post game recap. And as always, go Kings.